Hello, 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 hello. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Omega Live with JJ, Woman Without Borders. Ah, it is Thursday. It is April 16th of the year 2020. Yeah, and what a day it has been. Guys, yeah, I know. It is a sad day. People are sad in Jamaica. I am coming to you guys live from Montego Bay, Jamaica. And unfortunately, I'm a woman without borders, yes, but today the news is all going to be about Jamaica. Oh, there is an international news, but it's still pertaining to Jamaica. So bear with me because today the news is all about what's happening in Jamaica because there's a lot happening in Jamaica, and Jamaicans both locally and those in the diaspora wants to know what's going on in Jamaica. Okay, guys, so bear with me. All right. Okay. So if it's the first time that you're actually visiting my program, welcome. It's good to have you. Okay. Um, and just so you know, I have to give you my caveat. If for any reason at any point in time that you're losing feed or the connection is poor, if the feed is fluctuating and the quality is not good, it's due to the fact that I'm using my data plan, okay? I'm not using Wi-Fi, I'm using data, so do bear with me, okay? If the feed fluctuates, just hang around, it will come back, all right? Okay, so again, welcome to Omega Live with JJ Women Without Borders. It's good to have you. I do not take it lightly. I really appreciate you taking time to come and be with me on this program, all right? Okay. Thank you very, very, very much for taking a few. The program is supposed to be an hour long, right? So thank you for just spending that time with me on this program today, April 16th, 20. You know this feel, right? I have to give you my commentary on what is happening in the island of Jamaica, right? But before I do that, I always have to read the news. So to put it in context, right? That's the only way you'll understand what's going on. I got to put it in context. Absolutely. So here goes. It was mayhem and pandemonium in the community of Portmore, St. Catherine, yesterday as residents rushed to supermarkets to buy food and necessities in wake of the lockdown announced by the Prime Minister of Jamaica, the Honorable Andrew Holness. According to Norman Scott, chairman of the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation and Spanish Town Mayor, it was a Nicodemus by night operation. And I have a clip, guys. So is that me say it? Is he say it out of his own mouth? I have a clip to play for you where you'll actually hear him say it. Nicodemus by night operation. I had to laugh. The situation is sad, guys, but in Jamaica we say take bad things make laugh, right? So I had to really laugh about that. Um, so he said he was called out of his bed at 5:45 a.m. to be told of the decision that they were going to close down St. Catherine. Oh boy. He said, while the government was concerned about the markets, the mayors, including himself, they were more concerned about the call centers. So it should not catch anyone by surprise, right? Basically, as a result of that, you shouldn't be surprised, and then now you're rushing to go and to close down the parish, right? Anyway, and I'm going to play the clip for you. As a result of the lockdown, the following banks have been closed until further notice. So NCB closed 8 of their branches. They closed the Crossroads branch, which is in Kingston and St. Andrew, the Halfway Tree branch in Kingston and St. Andrew. The Linstead branch is in St. Catherine. The Old Harbour branch is in St. Catherine. The Portmore branch is in St. Catherine. The St. Jacob branch is in St. Catherine. The Washington Boulevard branch is in Kingston and St. Andrew. And the Windward Road branch is in Kingston and St. Andrew. Now, guys, remember that we talked about the fact that although St. Catherine was locked down, we know the persons are from Kingston and St. Andrew and St. Catherine. Anyway, I will talk more about that, continuing with the news. So, Jamaica National, they also closed some branches, and they closed the Old Harbour branch. And that, of course, these branches are all in St. Catherine, by the way. The Old Harbour branch, the Spanish Town branch, the Portmore Pines branch, and the Linstead branch. All of these branches, of course, they have been closed because St. Catherine is locked down. All other branches remain open from 9 a.m. until 1:30 p.m. Listen to the hours, guys. If you have a Jamaica National account, the branch hours are from 9 a.m. until 1:30 p.m. Unless, of course, you're in Gale or Anota Bay, which is in St. Mary. Okay, those two branches will be on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So they're only opening for 3 days in the week, guys, right? The Gale branch and the Anota Bay branch in St. Mary will be opened only on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Okay, don't forget that. And those hours will be from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. So no Tuesday banking, no Thursday banking. Monday, Wednesday, Friday banking, but you can bank from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. Saturday banking locations, those branches that are open on Saturday, you would have known as a Jamaican National customer. Except those that are in St. Catherine, of course, they will continue to operate from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. The JMB, they closed their Portmore branch, and their Junction branch is also closed, but all the other JMB branches, including those here in Montego Bay, are open for business. Other establishments have also closed, and quite a few of them. I'm only going to name two right here, and that's KFC, yeah. I'm sorry. And Flow, I must talk about Flow, but let me read what Flow says. Flow says that they've closed their Maypen branch, Maypen in Clarendon, okay? Maypen in Clarendon, their branch is closed. And their King Street branches, their King Street branch and their Bargain Mall branches in Kingston and St. Andrew, those branches are also closed in addition to all the St. Catherine branches. Okay. And according to the Prime Minister, all employees at the affected call center, where there are now 51 confirmed cases. This number is not correct, guys. This was just basically news. I'm going to give you the new figures, guys. The figures are new. Okay. According to the Prime Minister, all employees at the affected call center, where there are now 51 confirmed cases of the COVID-19, have been placed under 14 days quarantine. However, it has come to his attention that persons from that center are turning up at other places for employment, and I'll have some more information on that for you. He is warning, this is what I want to get to. He is warning that if any of these persons are found to be in breach of quarantine requirements, they will be prosecuted. Sorry about that. Okay, so he says that if any one of those persons, where am I? Sorry. Yes, the Prime Minister is warning that if any of these persons are found to be in breach of the quarantine requirements, they will be prosecuted under the relevant acts. He has also asked the Commissioner of Police and the Ministry of Health to thoroughly investigate the circumstances under which this outbreak took place and to pursue charges under the Disaster Risk Management Act, the DRM Act. Okay. As a result of all that, residents of the parishes of Hanover, Trelawney, and St. Thomas are calling for the closure of their borders in order to prevent the spread of the coronavirus disease. That is, they don't want it to come to their virus-free community. Right. So, let me play the clip for you before I give you my spiel. Listen to this. All right, so this is the clip.
Outside the sovereign village here in Portmore, St. Catherine, and I'm just going to remove my mask just for this broadcast.
The TVJ broadcast, by the way.
It's extremely hot here in Portmore, St. Catherine, and one can only imagine what it's like for these persons who are standing here outside the Progressive Food Supermarket here in Portmore, St. Catherine, who have been here for close to 2 hours. I'm going to ask my cameraman Glenford to just pan so you can get a look of just how many persons there are waiting outside the supermarket.
Long line.
Catherine, some of these persons have been waiting to get inside the supermarket for close to 2 hours, and these residents here are extremely frustrated. Now, one would remember Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced yesterday that persons would be allowed to shop based on their surnames. However, thousands turned up outside the supermarkets, wholesales like this one, just to try and get a grab
social
of some
distancing.
food. You know, persons are telling us they need some water inside their houses, and that is the reality of these persons out here. Now, another important point to make here is that a lot of these persons aren't practicing the social
I'm looking at it.
It's inside the supermarkets are so many, and it's extremely difficult. I move now to point about traffic. Parish this morning, but we're stopped at some checkpoints. Some of these persons were even turned back. Yes, they were turned back because they had no legitimate reason for being on the street.
They could have proved that they were essential workers. That's what it was.
I tell you that the residents here, they will not be.
Mr. Scott argues that the municipal corporation was not given enough notice.
The administration is short-sighted in their decision making.
That's Norman
Chairman
Scott,
of the St. Catherine
Mayor.
Municipal Corporation, Norman Scott, reacting to the government's decision to lock down the parish. Last evening, Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced that movement would be restricted for 7 days. The announcement follows a spike in the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in the parish. However, Mr. Scott is not pleased with the move, particularly the manner in which it was done.
This thing catch the people of St. Catherine by night. It's Nicodemus by night catching the people. The Minister of Health called me at 6:45 to tell me that a decision has been taken. I'm the chairman of the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation, and if something like this is going to happen, I would have expected the administration to give me the kind of kudos.
He argues that as chairman of the municipal corporation for the parish, he was not given ample time to prepare for the lockdown.
Calling me at 6:45 to make an announcement at 6. What do you expect me to do? I can't even find a word to express what I think is happening. All I can say, this seems to be a catchy-shubby kind of decision.
Meanwhile, Mr. Scott adds that the new cases from a call center should not be a surprise to the government. He claims several mayors had raised concerns about the BPO sector.
Whilst the administration was so adamant about markets, mayors, including myself, spoke about the call centers, that we had a concern about call centers. So it shouldn't catch the government by surprise. Again, I said, they're behaving like it's a catchy-chubby kind of administration.
St. Catherine has over 30 confirmed cases of COVID-19.
And the manufacturing sector is expecting a significant fallout from the St. Catherine lockdown. We go to the details in this report.
It's not business as usual for many companies, as a significant number of their employees live outside of the corporate area, especially in the neighboring parish of St. Catherine. And with the lockdown of that parish, which took effect at 5 o'clock Wednesday morning, many businesses have been faced with closures and reduced numbers. Several entities have indicated that they have to close branches because the majority of the staff are from St. Catherine.
So St. Catherine does supply about 60% of the workforce for the manufacturing industry. So it does have an effect, no doubt about it. And different companies are making different decisions as we move on.
Now, President of the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, Metro Siaga, says it is too early to predict the possible fallout for the sector.
I would not hazard a guess. It's something that we have no idea how bad it's going to be or how long it's going to be. It's a everyday changing situation. And we, at our own company here, we have a meeting every morning, and we assess and we recalibrate. So anybody that's giving you any numbers, in my opinion, are just taking a stab in the dark.
His message for Jamaicans is to be responsible.
We have to continue social distancing. We have to continue to cover our faces. We have to do the right things and allow the government to get this thing under control. So we all have a responsibility, and implore every Jamaican to do what they can do to their part. Stay away from people.
O'Shane Masters, TVJ News.
And the lockdown of St. Catherine has led to the temporary closure of 8 branches of the National Commercial Bank NCB. Some branches in St. Catherine as well as Kingston and St. Andrew will be closed for the period of the quarantine based on their location. In addition, a number of NCB workers live in St. Catherine. Affected branches include Crossroads, Halfway Tree, Linsdale, Old Harbour, Portmore, St. Jago, Washington Boulevard, and Wynwood Road. Due to reduced staff, NCB's Customer Care Center, check deposits at intelligent APMs, and servicing of point-of-sale terminals will be affected. Meanwhile, the JMMB Group has temporarily ceased operations in Portmore. Other locations remain open with the exception of its Junction branch. JMMB says the St. Catherine lockdown may also impact other service areas, including its call center operations and deposits at ATMs. And it's time for a break now on the Midday News, but stay with us. We have much more right after.
Okay, guys. So there you have it. You heard it from the horse's mouth, right? Because when I give you the news, I give you facts as I get them, right? Okay, so here's my spiel. First of all, you heard me yesterday. If you were watching the program yesterday, you would have heard me. I spoke about this. I didn't go into much details. But I'm going to go into a little bit more now. So before I go into details, let me give you the real number as of right now. It's now a few minutes after 12 o'clock on Thursday, April 16, 2020. Jamaica now has 143 confirmed cases of the COVID-19. Yes, guys, you heard me say it. 143. They have 18 more confirmed cases from Alarica call center. So Alarica call center has 68 or 69 confirmed cases. That means in one call center, remember up until the beginning of this week, what our numbers was, this one call center doubled our numbers, guys. Yeah? So now we are up to 143 confirmed cases. All right. I'm not going to go back over the fact that it shouldn't have opened in the first instance because it's water under the bridge, right? We can't cry over spilled milk. Here's the thing though, guys. As I said, you can't be so reactive. You have to be proactive. Put things in place, and putting things in place is after the fact. Like making drastic actions like shutting down a parish is not the answer. I said it yesterday, and I'm going to say it again today for if you did not catch my program yesterday, right? Locking down a parish for what happened in a particular community is not the answer. I'm not saying that persons don't live outside of Portmore who are actually reside, who actually work at Alarico. That's not what I'm saying, okay? Because we do understand these persons who work here, and guys, let me give you some more figures. Alarico employs 787 employees. 787. Let me make sure I want to make sure I give you the right figure. Yeah. Alarico employs 787 persons. Okay. Now, don't panic. I'm about to give you some information, but do not panic, guys. Listen to what I'm saying and make informed decisions. But do not panic. As of right now, there are 112 of those employees that are unaccounted for. They cannot find them. Yeah, that saddens me. This company, guys, Alorico, is not a member of the GSAJ. You remember yesterday I told you what Gloria Henry said, right? Gloria Henry, the president of the GSAJ, the Global Service Association of Jamaica, right? That is supposed to be the umbrella organization in charge of the BPO sector in Jamaica. Gloria Henry is a spokesperson. I hear her on the radio in the mornings. I hear all the time on the radio talking about the BPO sector. Sorry about that. Welcome back. Right. As I was saying, I would love to find out how is it that this particular company, right, a part of the BPO sector that is so important to our country, they are considered essential services to be open during our curfew that we have, our island-wide curfew. That company still operates, right, because they're considered essential service. Yet they are non-compliant. And they're clearly non-compliant when it comes to the health practices also, right? Because right now, we have almost 80 persons, almost 70 persons who have been confirmed positive for the COVID-19 at that one call center, right? And not only that, that is bad and not so bad. What is worse is that out of that 787 employees that they have, they don't know where 112 lives because 112 employees gave wrong addresses. They have 112 employees who gave wrong addresses, who they cannot find right now, who could be positive or negative. We don't know because they've not been tested, right? And they're right now, wherever they live, we don't know because they could live as far as Hanover. Because, guys, the reason you heard me read the notes earlier about what the Prime Minister said, because it was reported that one of those Alarica employees came to Hanover, which is next door to St. James, which is next door to Montego Bay, where I am right now, right? This person came to Hanover, this virus-free community, seeking employment. Yes. We don't know if this person is positive or negative, right? And this person came seeking employment in Hanover, in this virus-free community. Right? Okay. So, that is the scenario with Alarico, guys, at this point in time. As I have gotten it, I've given it to you. Now, here's the other part of that. There are call centers in St. Catherine, Clarendon, Manchester, Kingston on St. Andrew, Hanover, Trelawney, St. James. Apparently, guys, I don't know the numbers, and I probably gonna next week. I think next week I'm gonna probably delve into that a little bit more in one of my programs, right? I think I'm gonna do that to find out exactly how many call centers are in Jamaica and in how many parishes, right? If they have it in every parish. I presume they probably have it in St. Anne too, yeah? They would have to have it in St. Anne, I would imagine, yeah. So the point is, guys, that all of these call centers were allowed to stay open. All of them were allowed to stay open, right? And now we're also hearing that Sunderland call center in Kingston and St. Andrew, that the possibility exists that they have a confirmed case there. That information has not been verified, it has not been fact-checked, so I'm just giving it to you, take it with a grain of salt, that one. But you know what I'm saying? Again, I remember I always say to you, in every lie, there's a grain of truth, right? So the news is that Sunderland call center in Kingston and St. Andrew have a positive case. Remember, we also know that the Prime Minister told us that there's a cluster in Kingston that is under investigation because of the fact that they're doing some contact tracing, because a lot of those persons who work at Alarica, they basically live in Kingston and St. Andrew. I understand there are persons who live in Papine who work at that call center, persons living in Arborview who work at that call center. I mean, you see how far this thing can spread for Kingston and St. Andrew. So expect, guys, in next week, I'm going to have some real news coming up between now and the weekend into next week about Kingston and St. Andrew. Yeah. Right now, St. Catherine is the parish that is closed down. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't think that was necessary, to be honest with you, because what you have done, as you have heard me read, the banks are closed. The manufacturing sector, you heard Metro Siago, right? Metro Siago is the president for the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association. And you heard him say, St. Catherine alone constitute 60% of their workforce. 60% of their staff come from St. Catherine for the manufacturing industry, guys. So when they are closed down, when the manufacturers are closed down, what's going to happen? So it's why, do you see why I say you can't be so reactive? You have to think things through. The Honorable Andrew Holness, sir, with all due respect, do like Donald Trump. You might not like the man, but take a page out of that man's book. You need to either fire some people or employ some persons who are not yes men and yes women. Right? Because you don't know everything. None of us do. We all are on a learning journey where every day we learn more and more. And we hire people to advise us about things that we know nothing of. Yeah? So if it is that you need information that you don't have to make informed decisions, then you need to employ people around you, sir, who have that information. You need good advisors. You need persons who have the information, who can make informed decisions, who can advise you so that you can come to the public and not insult our intelligence, but give us good information, give us practical information, give us the right information that we can make informed decisions. Yeah? Because as you hear the mayor, the Spanish Town mayor said, you understand me, about this ketchup show business. I mean, it's not so funny. It's not funny. Them say take bad things make laugh. This is not a joke. This is people's lives, people's livelihoods we're talking about here. And how things are being operated. I am not criticizing you. Okay? I am saying that you have too many yes men and yes women telling you that everything is okay and you're doing a good job and things are going well when they are not. You understand? That's not what we need. We need accountability. We need people to recognize that things are not right. You can do something, and you make a mistake. But guess what you do now? When you realize that you're wrong, you stop. And you say, hold on a minute. This is not working. Let me try something. Let me tell you something. This is something that I teach. When I teach problem solving, I teach my students problem solving. And I tell them how to solve a problem. I said, okay, here guys. Here's how you solve a problem. You have a problem, it must be solved. The first thing you do, you identify the problem. You got to identify that problem, right? Once you've identified the problem, you're looking for solutions. When you look for solutions, okay, you're going to find solution A, B, C, D, E, F, G, etc., right? There can be quite a few solutions to that problem because there's no one way to solve any problem. There's never one way to solve any problem. So there are different ways of solving the problem. But what do? You weigh the pros and cons for each problem. So problem A can be solved. This is solution A. What are the pros and cons for this particular solution? What's going to happen if I do this? What are the disadvantages of doing this? What are the advantages of doing this? Okay? And you do that for each solution that you come up with. And after doing that, the one that has the most pros and the least cons, right? That is the most advantages and the least disadvantages. That's the one you run with. Yeah. Then you implement that solution. That's how you solve problems. Yeah. That's not what's happening here. Guys, you heard me play the clip that the mayor said, right? And I'm going to also read for you what the deputy mayor of Portmore says. So that was the mayor. You heard a clip that I played for you that the Spanish Town mayor said. Now listen to what the deputy mayor of Portmore, right? That is Alric Campbell, right? This is what he said. He said, a misunderstanding about the status of the curfew order that was already in place also contributed to the chaos that ensued last evening because he's aware of it. And he is expressing concern about the enforcement of this order, right? Norman Walker, who is the president of the Sunshine City Chamber of Commerce. This is also in Portmore, guys. These are people, the leaders of the Portmore community, right? He says its members have taken a significant hit since the onset of the coronavirus pandemic, right? And now you had an insult to injury. He says at the Portmore Mall alone, right, 30 stores of the 180 stores that they have been closed for the past 2 weeks. 30 of the 180 have been closed, right? So now with the lockdown, he says virtually there's no business. All businesses have ceased, right? Okay. So you see what is happening now. Now you find that people are unemployed, and I'm here unemployed myself, so we all are feeling the brunt of COVID-19. What you don't want to add is insult to injury, right? Because we're all feeling the brunt of COVID-19. So therefore, you have to understand that you have to implement orders that are beneficial to your constituents, right? And your constituents is not just those in Kingston and St. Andrew, they're the entire island of Jamaica, right? So you can't implement things that are going to adversely affect people have been already going through what they're going through. Yeah? So, Mr. Holness, sir, with all due respect, you got to go back to the drawing board, and you need some good people around you who can give you some good advice. Because I said again, all right, this call center in the first instance, from the first time they had that one confirmed case, it should have been nipped in the bud. Forget the fact that they should have locked them down in the first instance. They shouldn't have been open. Yes, they're open because we understand, and I said it already. I understand you don't want to lock down a place that employs 40,000 plus people, and I get that, right? But at the same time, you have had to put things in place that would have not, caused what has happened to happen. Right? Ensure that your protocols, your hygiene protocols were carried through, right? So many people are unemployed. Employ some of them to do that. That's what they should have been doing, monitoring these places to ensure that these places were being compliant, right? Anyways, Alarico employees, 112 who are out there unaccounted for because people can't find you because your address was incorrect. You are being asked to call this number, 876-538-3139 or 876-538-2780. All Alarico employees, 112 of you who are unaccounted for, nobody can find. Guys, anyone who knows the whereabouts of these persons are also asked to call those numbers. You're also asked to show up at the Alarico complex. That's where they're doing the testing for the COVID-19. So they're asking you to please turn yourself in there and be tested. They want to make sure that you're COVID-19 free. So if you worked at Alarico and you have not yet been tested, please to attend the Alarico complex ASAP and have yourself tested. That was a public service announcement by Omega Live. JJ, Women Without Borders. Okay, guys. So that is my spiel. And to add to that, how could I forget this part? I gotta give it this part, guys. I gotta give it this part because you heard on the TVJ reporter said that persons were turned back because they couldn't prove that they had any useful thing doing on the road, right? There was no need for them to be on the road, but that was not the case, right? The police, I command have a different story. The Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of strategic operations, DCP Clifford Blake, he says what happened is that the police were challenged in verifying essential workers navigating in the space. So the persons could not prove that they were essential workers. That's why they were turned away and sent back home. Guys, remember, you were told what kind of IDs you were supposed to have on you, right? You can't go up to the police or the soldier and say, guess what? I'm a nurse. No, you would have had to have an ID that shows that you work at Cornwall Regional Hospital, for example, or the Kingston Public Hospital, for example, or the University Hospital of the West Indies, for example. Yeah? The ID would have said that, and then it would have stated that you would not have had any issues. Then they would have said, go on your way, John Doe, Mary Joe. So the police, after having said that yesterday, and the day before, and you were advised that you were supposed to have the appropriate ID, you were now on the road without the appropriate ID. That's why you were turned back. Guys, you have to walk with your appropriate ID. If you're an essential worker, you walk with your essential worker ID. Yeah? So, residents of Portmore St. Catherine last night took to social media to lament the exodus in the space, with some residents allegedly attempting to feed the lockdown. So, according to DCP Blake, he said despite the general good behavior on the part of the Portmore residents, right, he expects that the levels of compliance will increase today. So we're hoping that the level of compliance has increased. He said numerous persons were ordered to return home because they could not prove that they were essential workers. He notes that while persons lying to the police can be charged, most instances they were simply ordered to return home. So they're not really sending you home, or while they can arrest you for lying, at this point in time, we are prioritizing, right? So those are little petty charges that we're not going to lock you up for. We won't lock you up for those petty charges of lying. It is a crime, but it's a petty crime, so we won't lock you up for that. So he says the police just sent them home instead of arresting them for lying to the police. Do not lie to the police, they will be arrested. Well, at this point, not really because of petty crime. But generally speaking, when we go back to norm, do not lie to the police. You can be arrested for it. It's a crime. All right. The DCP is urging companies, right, who are encouraging their employees to breach. He said, desist. Stop doing that. Do not encourage your employees to come to work when they're not supposed to. Okay. Okay, so that is that with regard to an explanation as to why the police were turning back persons yesterday. Okay, all right, so continuing with the news, guys. So that took up a lot. That took up so much of my time just now. Wow, but I had to get that out there, right? So continue with the news. Here's another interesting one, another development. That this is something that, Lord have mercy, we are in for a rough ride, guys, in the weeks coming. I'm sorry to tell you, but we're in for a rough ride. Hear this one. According to a statement issued by the United States Embassy in Kingston, Jamaica, none of the deportees scheduled to arrive in the country within the next week or two will have the COVID-19. The embassy states that the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, ICE, what we call ICE, it's not their policy to deport persons who are ill. They don't do that. If you're ill, you stay where you are. Nobody's putting you on a plane being ill to associate with the other passengers on that airplane. If you're ill, you will not be sent back home. Okay, so therefore, you can rest easy. That's what they say. I'll give you my opinion on that in a second. Approximately 62 deportees are slated to arrive in the island after President Donald Trump issued a directive to repatriate persons convicted for violating the U.S. laws. Okay, so here's my spiel on that. First of all, guys, make sure, please, to test every one of those 62 ex-convicts who are returning to Jamaica. Please, 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 to test every one of them. We're not saying we don't believe the U.S. Embassy, don't get me wrong, okay? But we already know that it might be there when they test them. It might not have come up when they test them, so we want to make sure that when we test them, it's not there. And even if we test them and they come back negative, we are still putting them in quarantine because there is a thing called incubation period, right? That incubation period, the time when you got the disease to the time when you see your first symptom, yeah? The first sign of symptom, that period is what we call the incubation period. Now, guys, as you all know, you all know, if you've been watching me, you all know my belief about this virus being genetically altered. It is not normal because a man mess with it, right? Mankind, right? Scientists mess with nature, and that's what happened, in my opinion. Yes. So we don't know, because when these things mutate and when they multiply, when they change, and they anything can happen. So the point is, we are not even sure exactly, right? If how long that incubation period is. It could be 2 weeks, it could be 3 weeks for all we know. We just don't have enough information. You've heard these doctors say it, right? These experts talk about it. These doctors with their MDs and their PhDs talk about it. They have no idea about this virus. So whatever information you're given is just a fly on the wall. Is that the term? No. That's the term I'm looking for. Not coming to me right now. But the point is, you take it with a grain of salt. Is the point I'm making, because of the fact that no one knows for sure exactly what the characteristics are of this particular virus. Right? We don't. So therefore, they say 14 days, but it could be 21 days for all we know. Right? So therefore, I am saying they tested them and they came back negative. Right? We are not going to take that as gospel. We're saying when they come, please to put them in quarantine and let them stay there until you can prove that they have no COVID-19 before you let them go on the population. Speaking of letting them go on the population, you remember I gave you yesterday, and if I haven't, go back and watch yesterday's episode, guys, when I told you what Dr. Chang said about these deportees. So I did not know. Did you know that on average, every 2 months, we have approximately 50 to 60 deportees in this island? Did anybody know that? I tell you, guys, be thankful for COVID-19 to some extent. Because the things that are in the dark that are coming to light, we had no idea about. We're just discovering these things, yeah? Yes. Apparently, every 2 months, approximately 50 to 60 deportees arrive on our island. So let us do the math here now, guys. So for 2019, right? For 2000, and I just use the smallest number. Let us say 50 deportees came every 2 months in 2019. Let's do the math. So for 6 months, 6 times 50, how much do you get? Yeah, 300. So that means in 2019 alone, we had approximately 300 deportees arriving on our island. Then really and truly, why are you surprised that the crime rate has gone up? And the crime rate was going up. Really? Why? I don't understand these people, because see what happened now. They're not giving us information for us to make informed decisions. They're giving us numbers and they're telling us things, right? And then now we are wondering, why is it that our people have gotten so violent? Because it's not in Jamaicans' nature to be so violent against each other. It's not. I was raised and I see my grandparent leave door open. I see my uncle in the police force go to work, walk into the police station from home to the police station. I'm unafraid at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. You understand? You dare not do that now. Because the people have gotten so violent. But why? Because everything, guys, you have to put it in context. Everything must be put in context. And the context for this is clear. If we have 300 minimum deportees walking around in the island of Jamaica, what do you expect? Remember, guys, remember this. Some of these deportees, some of them are not, they weren't raised here. They left here when they were babies. So they are not persons who have developed some kind of bond with anyone in the island, right? They have no leniency, they have no sympathy, no empathy for you, for your life, because they're not used to you, they don't know you, they have no feelings for you. You understand? And some of them are hardened criminals, and some of them are not so hardened criminals, but again, they have no ties here. So you send them back to Jamaica, having socialized them over there. They have learned their craft over there. They learned, to be tough over there. And then now you send them back to Jamaica, and they come here with no social connections, right? And then what do you expect them to do? Yeah. So as somebody step on their toe, they want to cut your throat. Yeah. And these people are walking up around, and nobody knows who these people are, because they're just walking around and just living their lives and doing mischief, some of them, we don't know. But for me, that explains, in my opinion, that explains why we have an increase in crime. Now it is being put in context with all these deportees. And it's not just at the point, they are criminals. According to what you heard, the President Donald Trump said, these are persons who have violated the U.S. Laws. And so that's why they are being sent back home. Yeah? Guys, it's going to be an interesting month of April going forward, because with these 62 coming, that means, right, so they're going to be in quarantine, right? But in the month of May, I don't know if they'll be let loose on society or what's going to happen. It's a developing story, so I'll have more information for you going forward. All right. Continuing. Meanwhile, a mentally challenged man is reported to have killed a little child and 2 adults. So he killed 3 persons in the Barker district. Now, the Barker district is near Gale. Gale is in the parish of St. Mary, right? Residents later attacked and killed the reported attacker in retaliation for the violent incident. Okay, so and I can't give you the identity of these persons, no names, right? It's just that we know that there's 2 adults and a child. Preliminary reports are that about 4:30 p.m., the mentally ill man attacked an elderly man said to be a relative, right, of his. So this is it's a family member. This is not a stranger, guys. In this case, this is a person, a family member who was attacked by this person. But remember, the person is mentally challenged. That means the person is not in their right mind, right? So he attacked the relative with a knife, right? And then he proceeded to the house and allegedly slashed the throat of 2 young children there. Yeah? So basically, this sounds to me like it's 2 children and an adult, not a child and 2 adults, right? Okay. An alarm was raised and the suspect was subsequently apprehended and killed by an angry mob. The police have indicated that one of the injured child died from the injury that was sustained while the other was hospitalized. Since this news, I understand that the other child has died. Police investigators are currently processing the crime scene. The mentally ill man, yeah, okay, never mind. This particular story, guys, I will get back to it tomorrow. I'm going to get back to this particular story tomorrow, because tomorrow, you don't want to miss tomorrow's episode, because tomorrow I'm going to be talking more about the mentally challenged guy, because there are so many stories, and I have read right here in Jamaica, where these mentally challenged men are slitting the throats of persons. This is not the first incident to occur. This is not the first person's throat was being slit by a mentally challenged person. So tomorrow I'm going to have more details on that for you and talk some more about the mentally challenged and their carers, persons who have to take care of these mentally challenged persons. So you do not want to miss that episode, guys. Tomorrow, you want to make sure you're here with me, JJ, Women Without Borders, on Omega Live. Okay? And the Jamaica Together We Stand website and phone lines will remain open for the next 2 weeks to accept donations toward the COVID-19 Telethon Fund. To date, they have raised approximately 50 million Jamaican dollars. Guys, remember, their target was 10, I think it was 10.5 or 10.5 million US dollars. That was their target. Unfortunately, they only amassed approximately 50 million Jamaican dollars. They're saying this will go a far way in helping anyway, so they're not complaining to say, they're happy with the donations, and they said it will go a far way to help in purchasing the personal protective equipment for the frontline and healthcare workers who are fighting COVID-19 in Jamaica, right? But you can still go and make a donation, guys. So you can go to jatogetherwestand.com. The website is jatogetherwestand.com. Or you can call 866-228-8396. That is 866-228-8393 to make your donation. No, remember, no amount too small, right? But guys, no amount too large either. And there are some of you guys out there with money. What are you doing with all that money in the bank account? You cannot eat the money. You cannot do anything. You cannot bathe with the money. Money can do nothing but spend. That's all money can do, guys. Money has no other use but to be spent. You can't do anything with it. And if you drop down dead tomorrow morning because of COVID-19, guess what? Your relatives will fight over it, and it cannot be taken with you in your grave. As a matter of fact, there probably will not be any grave for you. They probably will cremate your body based on COVID-19 at this point in time and what's happening. So you might not you're not getting a funeral in the first instance. So there's no point of saving the money to bury you, because you're not going to get a funeral, and you might just end up being cremated based on what's happening with COVID-19. So the question again is, what are you doing with all that money in your bank account when people are in need of that money? We're saying go and spend some of that money so people can get some personal protective equipment to take care of your family and your friends, and even those you don't know, your neighbors. Yeah, be a neighbor, right? Love your neighbor as yourself. That's what the good book says. All right. Okay. All right, guys. So that was my spiel for today on the matter that you've heard me read. Of course, I'll have more to say on all of this tomorrow. Never a dull moment. However, yesterday I promised that I would have given some information from the Consulate General of Jamaica in Miami, Florida, USA. But of course, because I ran out of time, did not get a chance to do so. So today, true to my word, I'm going to ensure that I give you this information. This information is coming from the Consulate General. Because remember, guys, there are Jamaicans, I'm telling you, even in Timbuktu. Do you know that when I was growing up and I heard about Timbuktu, I did not know it was a real place, Yes, you know how I found out? Besides, I went afterwards to research it, but I saw that a person, one of my followers on my Twitter account, was from Timbuktu. Yeah, Timbuktu. I couldn't believe it. So I looked it up. It's actually a real place in Africa, Timbuktu. Yeah. So even in Timbuktu, you'll find Jamaicans. Jamaicans are all over the world, in almost every country. So you're going to find embassies and consulates in these places. And of course, guys, for those who don't know, excuse me 1 second. Thank you very much. For those who don't know, let me give you some information here. The embassy or the consulate in that particular jurisdiction, whichever country it is, it doesn't matter which country it is, that embassy or consulate is considered the Jamaican soil. So it means that if you're in a country, guys, and you're in distress, you can go to that consulate or embassy, that Jamaican consulate or the embassy, okay? And once you're there, you are on Jamaican soil. Yes, you're considered to be on Jamaican soil, all right? That's for all my viewers who are watching from overseas. Make use of the Jamaican consulate or embassy, so they're there. A representative of Jamaica, and that location where they are is considered Jamaican soil. Once you go through those gates, you are on Jamaican soil. Yeah. So, in light of COVID-19, the consulate has given out some information that I want to share with you, because their offices, they're basically the staff, they're working remotely. So you instead of going to the office to find them, which you can on a particular day. Let me tell you when you can actually go. But they're mostly working remotely. They say from 9 a.m. until 3 p.m. Mondays to Friday. Sorry. Right. And they're asking persons to text them. It's good to text them. So if you have a problem, just send them a text. They have made several text lines available, so you can text them. If you don't want to talk, you don't want to be, you can't talk, you maybe have a sore throat or whatever reason. Just send a text and you can communicate with them via text. Here are some numbers to call, to text them with whatever questions you have while you're overseas. So this is for the Jamaican diaspora, yeah? 786-588-9637 or 754-800-8421 or 954-613-9439 or 954-919-5392. Those are the numbers that you can text to get information if you're the Jamaican diaspora. You can also send them an email, and they have 3 email addresses. You can use any one of the 3 of them. You can either email contact us at jamaicacgmiami.org. That's contact us at jamaicacgmiami.org or consular.info@jamaicacgmiami.org. That's consular.info@jamaicacgmiami.org or simple info@jamaicacgmiami.org. They are encouraging, especially because of COVID-19. They're encouraging all Jamaicans to register with the consulate. All Jamaicans to register with the consulate, right? They want to know where you are, right? So that if anything happens, they will know and they can come to your assistance, right? Okay. And in that same breath, so to speak, you can also, if you're overseas, you're in the Jamaican diaspora, and because of COVID-19, some of you had passports that was almost due to renew, but because of COVID-19, you're stuck over there now. Your passport has expired or is expiring soon. They are saying now that you can go online and you can renew your passport at the PICO office, right? I'm going to give you the address in a minute. You can go online and you can renew your passport at PICO's website address, right? But they're saying, guys, that you would have had to have renewed your passport since 2001, right? Yeah. So if you have a new passport or renewed your passport since 2001, you can do that. If you did not, if it was before 2001, you cannot do it on the website, guys. If your passport is older than 2001, you cannot do it on the website. But if it was after 2001, then you can do it on the website. And the website address is PICA, that's PICA, PIC for Charlie, A for Apple, .gov.jm. Okay, that's pico.gov.jm. That's where you go to renew your passport if you are in the diaspora. Okay, all right. Okay, guys, that's it for today. I'm so happy that I had an almost uninterrupted session. Isn't God awesome? To God be the glory, great things He has done. I love Him so much. Yes, guys, I am thankful. I thank you for spending time with me today. I hope you found this episode informative. I'm going to encourage you. Please do not keep this to yourself. Understand, guys, the reason I'm here is to share knowledge. Reason being, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Knowledge is of no use to anyone being kept to themselves, right? You keep knowledge to yourself, it is of no use to you. Knowledge is only useful when it is shared, right? And that's what I'm here to do, to share knowledge. So if you have benefited from what I have said, do not keep it to yourself. Share that knowledge with somebody else. So share the link, right, with your friends and family, that they too will be informed, right? And subscribe. If you have not yet subscribed, guys, go ahead and subscribe. To all my subscribers so far, thank you so much. I really appreciate every one of you. Thank you for your support. Okay. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. Thank you for the thumbs up. Okay. For this program. I appreciate it. Okay. And remember, guys, you can also go on social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It is Omega News JA. It's Omega News JA on these platforms. And remember, if you want to be a part of this program, you can also go on Facebook and send me a direct message. Okay. And also, if you have other information that you want to share with me that you'd like for me to discuss on this program, all right? And remember, you can also, even though we cannot dialogue in terms of you calling, and we have a direct course. Lord, what am I saying? Yes, while we are not able to have a direct discourse in terms of me talking to you on the phone, if you send me a message during my speech while I'm talking to you and you send me a message in the comment, in the chat, then I'll be able to see it and I can respond to it in real time. And that will count as us having a discourse. That's what I'm saying, right? Okay. Sometimes my tongue gets tied up, guys. I have a list because of my speech impediment, but that's all good. All right. So That's all the time I have for today. I appreciate you. Thank you for spending time with me. And I'm looking forward to speaking with you again tomorrow, Friday, April 17th, when I'll have a lot more to say based on the developments that are happening in Jamaica, and I'll try to get some international news in it also, because a lot is going on around the world, right? And I know you want to know about what's happening in the world also. So yes, tomorrow I will have that information for you. Okay, so until then, okay, as always, stay blessed and be a blessing. Love you.